Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Songbird's Nest. My name is Margaret, and this is Songbird's Creations, Crochet, and More. I decided to start a little early this morning because I see there are some people in the chat already, so I figured, why not? So I'd like to say good morning, Lana. Good morning, Grammy Rita. Good morning, Twinny. How are you today? I saw your poncho you got finished. And I will have to agree with you on the yarn, although your design is absolutely wonderful. I would have to agree that would probably not be my first choice of yarn to use either. But the poncho was great. Very good design. So, yeah, solid or even an ombre would be nice if it was a true ombre rather than just that yarn was just weird. Kind of hunks and chunks of color. Oh, well, that's cool. I'm sure they'll be excited to get it. Good morning, Beth. How are you doing today? Good to see you. So this morning I am working on a second Shalina shawl. Cami had requested that I make another one and work on it at the same time as she is working on hers, so I did. That's so cool, Marianne. That is some pretty, that juniper color is gorgeous. That would be a yarn choice I'd make. I think we have similar taste in colors when it comes to yarn. Good morning, Nifty. How are you doing today? Good to see you. I have not worked on this Shalina in a week. Yeah, at least a week. And I keep messing up. But I'll get back into the swing of it here real soon, I hope. I'm making this one out of some shawl and a ball. And it's called Opal. And you can't really see it real well. It's different shades of gray, but then it also has a thread running through it that kind of gives it the opal look. So the thread, the sparkly thread that runs through it changes from blue to gold to pink. It's really pretty. So this shawl is going to be mine. I'm keeping this one. I have also been hunting around trying to figure out what I've done with my circular knitting needles. I can't seem to find them. I may have to go downstairs and hunt. Good morning, Camille. Good to see you. Snooze on, baby. I know you need it. But yeah, I'm going to probably have to go downstairs and hunt around and see if I moved all my circular needles down there. Everybody is starting to pick up their knitting needles, and it is making me itchy to do a knitted shawl. So I actually downloaded a really beautiful scarf pattern yesterday from Ravelry that I hope I'm up to doing. Good morning, baby. How are you today? How are you feeling, sweetie? So what is everybody working on right now? I know I saw Camille's live last night, and she is working on her Shalina shawl, and it is looking absolutely gorgeous. And I know that Marianne is working diligently on her next winter sweater, which I think is going to be gorgeous. Marianne, is that going to be a pullover sweater or a cardi? A cardi, okay. Cool. I've got a cardi in my unfinished objects, and I really need to buckle down and finish it. It's such pretty yarn, and it will be probably my cardi for fall. It's the Color Fusion DK yarn, and it is in the, I'm so glad this had a lid on it, box of beads. It is in the Autumn Sky colorway, and I just love it. And I just need to get it done. Going rogue on a blanket pattern. Ah, fun, baby. So once I find my knitting needles, I have to decide what yarn I'm going to use to knit a shawl. And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to break into my box of goodies from Arity, because I haven't even begun to use any of that yet. So might be time to break out that box and see what I can use out of there. She sent me some absolutely gorgeous stuff, so. Ooh, which one, baby? What colorway? Butterscotch. Oh, that's a pretty one. That's going to be beautiful, I'm sure. Good morning, Julianne. How are you today, sweetie? I'm stitching on my second Shalina. Good morning, Lexi. How are you today? Good to see you. I've been missing you so much. Yeah, I'm working on this morning because working on large projects lately, this shoulder has really been um, giving me fits. So I'm kind of taking a break for a little bit on large projects that I have to lift up and turn and all of that. Um, I'm going to take a break from that and work on something smaller, light, and easy to turn around. So you have it in your shopping cart now. I love this yarn enablement community. We don't have to feel guilty for buying yarn here. We encourage each other. Go buy the yarn. Lexi, I hope you have a good cup of coffee to help you wake up this morning. I do. My fast is over. It was officially over as of, well, Friday was the last day. So yesterday was the beginning of our holiday. Um, we really didn't celebrate it yesterday, but I'm hoping that we will go out to dinner today. So yeah, I get to have my coffee this morning, which makes me happy. So this morning I am having a Peruvian roast coffee and um, you're grounded. Oh, hate being grounded. I'm having a Peruvian coffee with a couple of spoons of molasses in it for just a touch of sweetness, and then my regular half and half creamer. So um, I ran out of all my flavored creamers, which really isn't a bad thing because I kind of really need to cut back on some of the sugars. So that's a good way to do it. Actually, since that is my main source of sugar these days, that is the way to do it. Since I don't drink soda, I just about only drink coffee when it comes to something with flavor to it other than, water. I drink a lot of water. So, yes, now I can have my coffee in the morning. I can have my water all day long. Makes me a happy girl. I'm hoping right now it is just a little bit cloudy outside, and I am really hoping that it clears off some, and it's supposed to warm up nicely today, so I'm hoping that it clears off some and we can make a trip out to the park. Although, if I didn't go to the park, I could stay home and clean up the backyard and kind of clean up my garden some. I need to do that. It's going to, planting time is going to roll up on me before I even know it. And I need to get down to the basement and make a stab at cleaning up some stuff down there. Oh, thank you, Marianne. I will be showing a lot more of that park as the season progresses. That's one of our favorite places to go. It's one of the dogs' favorite places to go. We usually go out there really early in the morning before most people get up and around and start thinking about going out to the park. And who wants to be responsible? Nobody. But yeah, we like to head out there early in the morning. And oh, I just came to the end of my row. No wonder it looks weird. Okay. I'm sitting here increasing and wondering why it doesn't look right. Well, yeah, because you're at the end of the row, dummy. And you don't need to increase. But yeah, we spend a lot of time out at that park. One thing we have not done out there is go camping. Maybe this summer I'll talk the hubby into doing that one of these weekends. They are in the process right now of building a lodge on one side of the lake out there, and I think it has a good while before it's going to be done, probably at least another year. But once it's done, I have a feeling that park is going to be really super crowded. Yeah, baby. They have spots where you can bring in an RV or tent camp, and then they also have cabins you can rent. I don't mind tent camping at all. That's kind of how I was raised. When we went camping, you know, our idea of camping was roughing it. The closest we ever came to not roughing it was when I was probably 13 or so. My dad bought an old Apache camper. It was a pop-up camper, and it was made so that you've seen the ones that have, you can step up into the camper in the middle and they have the, you know, the kitchen and all that part, and then they have the beds on either end of the camper. Well, the way this one was made is the tent popped up and it came up and over the top of a double bed, and then it went over and it was just like a probably maybe the size of a 6-person tent on the other side, and that's where us kids would sleep. My parents got the bed, of course, and we got to sleep on the floor of the tent. That was a great little camper. I mean, it had its issues, but for a family of 6, it really was perfect. It had two storage units on each side of the camper. So like on the storage units that would be inside the tent, when we had the tent popped up, that's where we would put all our clothes. And then on the outside is where we put all of our pantry stuff for cooking and pots and pans, you know, what have you. All of that was on the outside storage units of the tent. So yeah, that was an awesome little camper. And if I could ever find one like that in decent shape, yeah, I would jump all over that. Good morning, Tank. How are you doing today? Oh, coffee in the morning. There's just really nothing like it. You guys can't imagine how sad my life has been without my coffee in the morning. I mean, I could have coffee in the morning. It was just, I was having to have it at like 3 in the morning, which isn't cool. Because I will say, drinking my coffee starting at, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night didn't really bother me, but I normally drink 2 cups like this in a day, okay? Well, 2 cups like this in the evening, yeah, that kind of did affect my sleep. So then I wasn't getting to sleep until 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. And my body, unfortunately, is very attuned to light in my room. So once the sun started coming up, I was awake. And it didn't matter if I had just gone to bed an hour and a half ago. Once the light hit me, I was awake. So, yeah, I mean, I did lay down and take naps during the day. I mean, I kind of had to because the amount of sleep I was getting at night was not working. Yeah, I'm not even sure how many ounces this cup is, Tank. I've never measured it, but it's several. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's more than 16, but just how much more than 16, I don't know. I'll have to do a measurement sometime and find out. I'm really surprised my hubby isn't up. He was talking about getting up and taking the dog out to the park early this morning, but I haven't heard him stir yet. Yeah, it looks like about a 20-ounce prissy. That's what I'm thinking too. You know, I could, I, I do have some blackout curtains for my bedroom. I just haven't bothered to put them up yet. And I guess I really should if I want to sleep. But the thing is, now it's getting to be springtime, and I'm normally up before sunrise in the spring and summer because once my garden gets going, I want to be out before the sun gets way up, get things watered, weeded, whatever garden work I need to do for the day. I try to get out and get it done early enough in the day that I'm not out there under, the noonday sun or anything trying to work in the garden. So, yeah, I need to get back to my early morning. 25 ounce? Wow. Okay, Lana. That's a big cup. Oh, I'm doing my shawl wrong. I'm sitting here yapping and not paying attention to what I'm doing. This is supposed to be the front post row. Pay attention, Margaret. So, y'all, I am so upset with myself. I had gotten my sweater to where I just had 6 rows of the mesh part of the tunic. And so that meant I had 4 rows left. I like big cups, and I cannot lie. Amen, Helix. That needs definitely to be made into a wrap. So I was looking back at my first rows of the mesh and realized that I had made a major mistake all the way back at row 2. So I had to frog. I was so upset. I could not believe I had done it. So I basically restarted the mesh part, and I'm back up to row 8 of the mesh now. So that means I've got 12 rows to go at this point, and I will be done with the main part of the sweater. Then I've just got to do borders, neck edging, all of that, and it will be done, and I'll be able to wear it. So I'm looking forward, hopefully maybe getting it done today. That's what I like to aim for. My shoulder feels pretty good this morning, so I'll give it a try this afternoon and see if I can't work on it a while and hopefully get those last 12 rows done and call it good. Keep forgetting to do front post. Oh, come on. Icy is so funny. Now that the weather is nice, he's not wanting to come in the house at night. And he does have a nice doghouse out back. So if it's warm enough outside, I really don't mind letting him sleep out. But the funny thing about him is, as soon as daylight hits, he comes up and lays by the door and wants to come in. So yes, of course, this morning I went out about 8 o'clock and there he was, laying up by the back door. Well, I went out the first time, I went out about 7 o'clock, and he wasn't up and around yet. You know, Rita, I feel like this. When you get to a certain age, so many things are not good for you. Are we really expected to give up everything that gives us pleasure? I don't think so. I made it this far in my life. I think I can judge what my body can do. So, coffee, no, that is a non negotiable that I will not give up. Just like when I worked in the nursing home, there were so many people that freaked out about giving the old folks wine or beer or anything like that. You know, they're like, well, they're in the nursing home. They shouldn't be having that kind of stuff. They're in the nursing home. What pleasures do they get? And if it isn't, I mean, they're all the way at they're coming to the ends of their lives in most cases. So why not let them have what makes them happy? You know, a glass of wine or a beer in the evening, knock yourself out, you know? I mean, it's not like they're going to get out and drive a car around or anything. Don't give them sugar. Yeah, don't give them sugar-free anything if possible. No sugar-free gummy bears. You know what, Julianne? I'm not even going to take the decaf route. I'm sorry, but no. That is also a non-negotiable. I do not drink decaf coffee. I will give in maybe and go half calf, but oh yeah, Marianne, definitely. Oh, so do I, Julianne. Yeah, I am a nope on the decaf as well. I like my caffeine. It's my only vice, well, aside from yarn and beads and crafting stuff. It's my only vice. Grammy Rita, we didn't. Well, mainly because both my parents worked. So once they were up and out of the house, the coffee pot generally was not on. But death before decaf, amen to that. I totally agree. I hear the hubby. He is up and around finally. I think he was just laying in there waiting for me to make the coffee, to be very honest. That's right. They should be. They've earned it. If they're that far along in their lives, they can be as wild as they want to be. That's why I tried really hard not to put my mom in a nursing home. Um, I will have to say, with her medical issues, the last part of her life probably wasn't that enjoyable, but at least she wasn't stuck up in a home somewhere. And I feel like I'd have been going to the nursing home and taking care of her anyway, so why not just keep her here at home and take care of her here? Morning, Shokri. What was that? I'm on live, but I'm saying hello to you. Hello, Icy Butt. Mr. Songbird. You just got a new name. You're Mr. Songbird. Somebody said good morning to you, Mr. Songbird. Yep, the click clack of paws. That's right. You guys gonna head out to the park? It's only 42 degrees right now anyway, so. Aw. You know, Tankin, if it hadn't given him cancer by the time he was 92, probably not much to worry about at that point, right? Grammy Rita, I totally agree. And to be very honest, I hope I never am in a nursing home. I would really prefer not to be. I mean, I worked in nursing homes, and the one nursing home that I worked in, one of them that I worked in, was actually a very nice place. But not, you know, not someplace. Good morning. Nice to see you. Vicotrell. So do you go by V? It's nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Welcome into the Songbird's Nest. I hope you will come back often and hang out with us. And I hope you'll give me a like and a subscribe today while you're here. I'd appreciate it greatly. Helps the channel out. And y'all, I am almost at 300 subscribers. I have not been doing any kind of push to get more subscribers. I just am letting it kind of grow organically, and as people find me, they find me. So, yeah, so I'm 2 away from that 300. Valerie. Well, Valerie, that will be a really easy one for me to remember because my sister's name is Valerie. So I will have that one implanted in my head. Not a problem. Okay, Marianne, we won't tell her. Silly woman. Oh, that's sad, Julianne. Well, hopefully she'll come out of her isolation thing and try and make her remaining time on Earth more pleasant for her. I mean, I know nursing homes, they have activities and stuff. If they have good activity directors, they have, you know, fun activities for the seniors to do. Here I am saying the seniors, I am a senior. But for the folks in the nursing home, I mean, I have a friend who lives up in Wisconsin. She is an activities director for a nursing home, and I know that she does absolutely wonderful activities for them. She comes up with some of the coolest stuff. My grandmother on my mom's side was just about a week shy of her 90th birthday. So she unfortunately passed away from Alzheimer's. And my mom was just 80 when she passed. I think, to be very honest, my mom chose to pass away. I think she was just tired of living the way she had to live at that point. So Grammy Rita, that's really that's awesome. That's kind of how I felt about my mom. Um, in fact, that's the reason I bought the house here in South Bend, is because I didn't want to put mom in a nursing home, and I wanted to have her here closer to her family, her side of the family, because my uncle, her brother, is only 20 minutes away from us, and um, that made it, a lot nicer to be able to get back and forth and visit. And occasionally, they would help out, say if the hubby and I wanted to take off and go for a camping trip for a weekend, they would they had a spare bedroom. They'd let my mom come stay with them for the weekend. Um, yeah, so it was nice having family close by. But yeah, it was hard taking care of my mom at the end, because she was no longer ambulatory. Um, and she was not a small lady particularly, so it was a little rough moving her around. But oh, Valerie Knitterhands. Okay, well, I recognize that name. Well, good to see you, Valerie. Um, so yeah, it was a little hard taking care of her, and my brothers and my sister all said, nothing wrong with putting her in a nursing home, and I was like, oh yes, there is. I'm not doing it. So I didn't. On to happy thoughts. I am working on my Shalina, my second one, Tank. I'm making this one with a shawl and a ball. I have 3 cakes of this colorway, so I'm going to make this one really big. Oh, in Des Moines. Wow, you're not that far from me. How fun. It's shawl and a ball, or shawl and a cake. I don't know what might be shawl and a cake. Yeah, shawl and a cake. Um, and the colorway on this one is opal. So it's shades of gray and fades out to white. And then it has a thread, metallic thread that runs through it that makes it sparkly. And the thread is gold and pink and blue. So it's really pretty. Yeah, it's a very pretty yarn. It feeds my need for sparkle. I didn't know Mainstays had velvet yarn either. Of course, I don't buy a lot of Mainstays yarn. Um, About the only time I bought Mainstays yarn is if I'm working on something in a 4-weight and I run low on a color and Mainstays looks like it'll match it fairly well, I'll buy a Mainstays, but I really don't use a lot of Mainstays. I will do that, Tank. Oh, you're doing that. Okay, you're putting one in Discord of the velvet yarn. Yeah, I definitely like to see that. It's funny too because I usually go to the yarn aisle whenever I get to Walmart, which admittedly here lately is not that often. Um, I really don't like Walmart as a general rule, but when I do go over there, I like to go check out what little there is of a yarn aisle in that store. You can't break it? Wow, that's pretty amazing. Usually velvet yarn breaks real easy. Good morning, Kimmy. Good to see you. How are you doing these days, babe? Haven't seen you in a while either. Yes, you heard me say I want to knit a shawl. You didn't dream it. I just have to find the right size of circular needles. I don't want to knit it on a size 11 needle. Um, I've got to go downstairs. I think probably the rest of my circular knitting needles are downstairs. So I've got to go down there and hunt up my circular needles and find a smaller size to knit a shawl on, because size 11 would just make, I mean, I guess it's doable, but not really what I want to do. So as soon as I find the size of knitting needles, I'm thinking I want to get down to about a size 6 or 8, somewhere in that range. Yes, Helix, I saw your shawl, and that yarn is gorgeous. Um, when I knit a shawl, I may actually knit 2 of them, because I have a shawl in a ball. I have, I think, 3 cakes of this one, and that is not as dark as it appears. That really dark place is actually kind of like a walnut brown rather than black. There, it's showing a little more. So I have, I think, 3 cakes of this one that I'd like to knit up, and then I think I'm going to break into my box of Arity yarn. Make something from some of that. Yes, yeah, I like the brown really well. I don't know, I will have to be honest, if I make a shawl out of it, I don't know that I would wear it. I don't think brown goes real great with the chosen hair color. Maybe if I go back to my gray, which may be forever before that happens, but yeah, I was looking up simple shawl patterns, and I found a really pretty pattern that I downloaded yesterday from Ravelry. It's actually a scarf, but you can make it wider. Um, Unfortunately, I cannot remember the name of it, so I can't tell you. Um, but I'll do a community post. Um, I am not sure if it is beyond my knitting skill. I will have to try it and see. Yes, Arity is definitely a sweetie. So, Amber, did you spend the night in Des Moines, or did you have to get up really early this morning and drive over there? And if so, I feel really sorry for you. Ah, you came up yesterday. Good. Yeah, I can't imagine having to get up and drive from your house over to Des Moines this morning. That would be rough. So I've been watching the posts from all the storm chasers. They're all in the process of getting their vehicles ready for the peak storm season coming up. That sounds like a good story, BB. Stick with it. And BB, there is no such thing as way too much yarn. Never too much yarn. Never. No such animal. Fun, Amber. Your daughter's making a dragon. That ought to be cool. Yeah, my hubby tries to tell me that I have too much yarn. No, I do not have too much yarn. Actually, I have put a pretty good dent in my yarn um, between giving a little bit of it away here and there, and I'm making a really concerted effort to use shop my stash when I want to make something. My problem is I find out that with a lot of the yarn that I've got, I don't have enough to make a full project. So um, I'm trying to combine yarns that I have to make projects. And to an extent, that does work. But for wearables, I'm tending to buy enough to make the things that I want to make. So another hook coming. Grammy Rita, I really do agree. We have a very empowering group of crocheters. I think that's really cool. Crocheters and knitters. And here goes my camera again. Come on, camera. Thank you. Nadine and Eric from the Facebook put together. Oh, I looked at their stuff. They have some neat looking hooks. Yay, back to an easy row. Yeah, Julianne, I know that feeling. um, when you have to think more about being able to afford groceries than afford yarn, it's a little scary. Well, Julianne, I hope you find something. I'm keeping you and your hubby both in my prayers. Definitely. What kind of work are you looking for, Julianne? Grammy Rita, that is very right. This too shall pass. Kimmy Joe, oh, I am so proud of you. That is awesome. Congratulations. I I will have to say I have never been a smoker, but I have people in my family who have been smokers for good parts of their lives and quit. And I know what a battle that is. So um, that's awesome. My oldest of my two brothers had a heart attack last year and was in the hospital for a bit. And when he got out, he had said he was going to quit, but unfortunately, he didn't win that battle. He's back to smoking now, and his breathing sounds absolutely horrible, but he just doesn't seem to want to try and make his life a little easier. That's awesome, Tank. 8.5 years. That's awesome for you, Helix. Proud of you guys. See, Kimmy, if they can do it, you can do it too. Yep, Kimmy, I know you're a strong woman. Anybody that does all the stuff that you do, you are a strong woman and you can do it. You know, Beth, I have a feeling that that is probably pretty accurate. My mother stopped when she moved in with me in Illinois. Um, we had a third floor apartment, and I informed her very quickly that I was not going to tolerate smoking in the apartment. Um, just wasn't happening. And she, during the spring and summer and fall, she'd sit out on our balcony and have a cigarette. But in the wintertime, we lived in the third floor, and the way our apartment building faced, the prevailing wind hit us dead on. And she discovered pretty quickly, like the first winter she lived with me, she did not want to be out on the balcony smoking in the wintertime. So then there was an old guy that lived behind us, and he would come over and visit, and he and my mom would go for a walk. They'd usually end up down at the local bar, and mom would sit and have a um, Diet Coke and a couple of cigarettes, and then they'd walk home, and that would be her cigarettes for the day. Well, it got to a point where, having two cigarettes in a day, if she was that low, she might as well quit. So she finally did. And yeah, I think that meant she was probably 10 years nicotine free. So drinking, that is something that I really do not do. Once in a blue moon, I will have a glass of wine or a beer. Um, but, well, my hubby does not drink at all, for religious reasons. And um, while I am not as faithful a practitioner as he is, I pretty much do not drink either. So, oh, that had to be hard, Julianne, being around it all the time and not drinking. I have I have probably maybe 4 bottles of beer in the fridge that my brother left when he was here to stay one time, and I have a bottle of wine in the fridge. The bottle of wine has been in the fridge for probably 5 years. Never opened though, so I'm sure it's still just fine. It's a pink Moscato. 36 years ago. That's awesome, Valerie. Yeah, Kimmy Joe, that's really what I'm afraid is going to happen to my brother. Um, with the way his breathing and stuff sounds, it worries me. But I can't convince him to quit, so it is what it is, I guess. So you guys, it is actually past 10:30 my time. So I am going to call it a day and on to happy times. That's right. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to let you guys go about your day. I'm going to go about mine. Um, so I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Do the things you love. Be with the people you love. And until I see you again, which will be tomorrow, I hope, 9:30 right here, um, I will be back. So have a wonderful rest of the day, everybody. And to all of the folks I have not seen in a while, it is so good to see you. Valerie, welcome, welcome. And like I said, I hope you come back and hang out with us again. You are welcome anytime. So take care, everyone. Bye bye for now.